Happy Sunday to all of you out there. Maybe it's not Sunday when you're watching this. That's okay too. It's been another crazy week. It's had a lot of ups and downs if you're tracking the media and stuff. There's been all kinds of things, declarations of emergency from the province, from the city of Toronto. More and more of you probably have your parents at home more, which maybe is nice for you. Hopefully you're spending some time together, and things are continuing to evolve and change, and no one really knows what they're supposed to be doing. Hopefully you've all been finding ways to kill time. For those of you who have extra time, maybe the video from Thursday helped out a little bit. Let me know again what you've been up to. I'd love to hear from all of you. Thanks for those of you who have reached out and shown me some of the things that you've been up to. You're very creative. In all of this, I've been watching my daughter Violet, who is just a little over 1 year old, and she has no idea that the world is going through this crazy thing. And I think for her, maybe that's a little bit nice. She's staying inside a lot more than normal, but it's been really cool. I have a short video of her. Lots of you, when I've been talking to me, have been asking how she's doing. And yeah, she's about the same, just a little bit more inside than usual. So here's a short clip of what Violet has been up to this week. I see you peeking. I see you. There she is. Where's the baby? Where's the baby? There she is. Where's the baby? Where did she go? Oh no. Where is she? There she is. Oh, where? Boo. 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 Oh no, where is she? There she is. Oh no. Boo. So that is just one of the silly things that Violet kind of does. There's a handful of things that she does that really don't make any sense, but they're very, very cute. And so when she covers her eyes, you can see, I think she actually believes that she has disappeared from the world, that we can't find her. So my wife and I will kind of pretend to cry, be like, oh no, where has the baby gone? And then when she comes back, she's like, I'm right here, haha, aren't I so sneaky? And sometimes maybe you've dealt with little kids, or you have younger siblings. I know my little sister used to do something similar, where she would take something that belonged to me and run and hide on the couch and cover her eyes like I couldn't find her. And I would remind her that I could see her and throw a pillow at her. You should not do that. Make sure you're being nice to your siblings. But as she would run and jump and hide, it was as if she had activated this little superpower, and there's this perception that just because she can't see me, that means that I couldn't see her. But that was not true. And Violet, sometimes she'll cover her eyes while she's walking. So imagine you're at home and there's a very, very small person whose eyes are covered and who is walking towards the top of the staircase. Now, obviously she thinks it's very funny. She thinks that she's invisible, but I can still see her. And I'm going to run over and grab her and stop her from falling over the edge of the stairs. I'm not going to just let her run down the stairs to maintain the illusion that she is invisible. And most of you probably don't believe that you're invisible when your eyes are closed. If you did, I'm not really sorry, but sorry for ruining it for you. But when we are dealing with certain things in life, when the world seems dark, and we've talked about this a lot this year, that sometimes the world can feel dark, can seem dark, either on the outside because things are going around, or in the inside, the way that we feel because of what's going on around us or what's going on inside of us. It can seem dark. And when it's dark, it can seem like God isn't there, that he's far away, that he doesn't really know, he's not really understanding, and he can't really help us. But just like when Violet was running around with her eyes closed, I still knew what was about to happen, and I was still able to be there to help her. God is still there with you, even when you feel alone. And we talked about this already a little bit last week, but it's important for you to just take time to remember that, to reflect on that, and to know that God is with you. No matter how dark the world seems or how scary things might be, God is still there with you. And there are still other people out there that care about you. I'm still out here. I'm still praying for you, thinking of you, and caring about you, even though I can't be in the space that you are in right now. And there's a person in the Bible who wrote a lot of the Psalms. Can anybody remember? There's one guy. He wrote more Psalms than anyone else. The Psalms are a place in the Bible with a lot of poems and songs that are about God and just about life. Maybe you figured it out. His name was David. David was a king in Israel, and he is also the great, I don't know how many greats, grandfather of Jesus. Yeah, in the gospel, it talks a lot about how Jesus was in the line and the house of David. And that's really important, but that's not what we're going to talk about. David in the Psalms wrote this: "Even when I walk through the darkest valley, I will not be afraid, for you are close beside me. Your rod and your staff protect and comfort me." And now David was a shepherd, so he had a rod that he would use to fight off wild animals, that he would use to poke the sheep when they needed to go a little bit faster, and he had a rod that he would use to stop them from falling off a cliff, that he could kind of hook around and put them back where they're supposed to be. And he looked at God the same way, that God was there to protect him from things that would come at him, and that God would use his staff to guide him where he needed to go. Now you may be saying, Pastor Zach, but David was a king. What did he have to worry about? What did he really know about being in the darkest valley? How dark could the king's valley really be? He's got money, he's got servants, he's got everything that you could possibly want. And yes, he was king. But before David was a king, he was just a guy doing life, being a shepherd, and trying to stay alive. Because the guy who was already king before David, whose name was Saul. Yeah, Saul. King Saul was not a fan of David, was not a fan of the idea of David being king, and was trying to do everything in his power to stop it, including killing David. So David had been on the run for months and months and months, maybe even years, trying just to survive long enough that he could become the king that he knew he was supposed to be. And while he was on the run, hiding for his life, there was a city named Keilah, not the person or a friend of yours, a city called Keilah that was under attack by the Philistines. This was a mean army. They like to go around and take stuff from people, take their food, take their land, take their stuff. Basically, they would just beat you up and take your lunch money, kind of like a bully. And so David saw this bullying army picking on these people in Keilah, and he prayed to God and knew that God wanted him to go and help these people. So he goes in and he helps them, and they're so happy that David and David's friends, David's little army of guys that were traveling with him, wanted to come in and help them. And they're like, "Come on, David, you can stay here with us. You can hide out in our town, and that's fine. We love you, man. Just come take a nap. Take it easy." And one day David finds out that Saul knows where he is and is coming. And as he's praying to God, God shows him, you need to get out of there. Because these people, yes, they love you now, but as soon as their lives are in danger, they're going to take you and turn you back over to the king who is trying to kill you. So David's like, "Oh, thank you so much for your hospitality. It's so nice that you've been here. Oh, thank you so much, but we're all leaving right now." And him and all of his friends, they get their stuff and they take off. And it's a long while still before David becomes king. And in that time, the world must have seemed dark and scary. He went through much worse things than you could possibly imagine, sleeping in a dark cave, hoping that someone doesn't kill him in his sleep. And today, even if things seem scary, even if things seem dark, we can really look at David and know that he knew what he was talking about when he said that no matter how dark the valley is, no matter how hard the situation is, God is there and we will be okay because God is with us. And I want you to remember that. And our memory verse, yes, I have a memory verse for you, for this week, which we talked about at retreat a little bit, is from John 1:5. It's John chapter 1, verse 5, and it says, "The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness never extinguishes it." And the darkness can never extinguish it. All right, so we're going to do the repeating right now. The light shines in the darkness. Come on, people. I thought you knew better than this. Thank you for those of you who did repeat it. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness can never extinguish it. John chapter 1, verse 5. One more time, all together in 3, 2, 1. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness can never extinguish it. John 1, 5. I just want you to remember that wherever you are, no matter how dark or scary things may seem, that when we take the time to remember how much God loves us, and God does love you and He is there with you, the darkness that we feel will never be able to take that away. And when we share and love other people around us, and we take the time to pray and ask God how He wants us to love other people, we actually are shining that light. Everyone say, shine bright! We can shine bright with the love of Jesus and change the world around us to make their worlds a little bit brighter too. That's all I have to say for you. I really, again, miss all of you. Love you guys, and hopefully I will be able to talk to you all again soon.